What is up, guys? Welcome to another video and welcome to episode 1 of the Road to Super Training, or whatever I've decided to name this series leading up to my next competition in December, which is now officially 10 weeks out. Obviously I have been prepping a little bit longer than that for this competition, but I decided because this is maybe going to be my last competition in powerlifting that I would do a little bit of a road to, a little bit of a series leading up to it, so I can document things like my prep going into it, because obviously I am doing my first ever prep where I am doing my own coaching, so it'll be interesting to see how I actually get on with things like the peak, because I've never programmed a peak for myself before. So I thought I'd just take you along the journey to that and make it a bit more of an official series, and throughout the series I will talk a little bit about my goals going into the competition, what sort of numbers I want to hit and everything like that. So today we have got squats. Obviously it is a Monday, it's always squats and bench, and for bench I've got a pretty heavy double to do. I've got 147.5 kilos, and then on squats I've got 245 kilos. So it's a pretty heavy session, but I've had my pre-workout, I'm ready to go, so let's get into the gym. Okay, bench done. Actually moved pretty well, pretty happy with the 147. Just did some back downs of 125 for 3 sets of 5 as well. That also moved pretty well. Moving on to squats now. Feeling pretty lethargic. Just got myself a Lucozade to try and get myself a little bit more energy, but I think it's because I'm feeling a little bit nervous about today's squats. Squats haven't been feeling great the last few weeks, so I'm really hoping I have a good session today, because today it's 245, but I've got to go up another 7.5 kilo next week, so I really want today to be a big confidence booster. Bit slow.
I think you were just like less height than previous.
Maybe. Squats done. Normally at this point I would be doing leg press for just 2 sets of 10, around about 8 plates a side, but in all honesty my body is feeling pretty battered. Squats just were not feeling good today, and I'm definitely going to have to come with a lot more intent next week if I want to be getting the 252 for a double, because just don't feel like I've been at it today, but don't really know what it is. Like, the variables have been okay, sleep's been all right, food's been okay. It's just one of those days, so I need to make sure that I'm staying on top of the variables all the way up to next week, because otherwise it's going to be a real struggle with 252. Right then, Friday. Currently trying to muster up the energy to get myself into the gym because I'm feeling tired. It's just been quite a long week. Currently just doing a little bit of reading American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. I am trying to do quite a lot of reading at the moment. I'm reading a book a month at the moment, because when I was younger I didn't do any reading, and I think it's good for your brain. So to be honest, I'd much rather just continue doing that for the rest of the evening, but I need to get in and get my deadlifts done. I've got 272.5 kilos to do, and they're not going to pull themselves. And then 242.5 kilo on the bench. So I'll have some pre-workout, I'll wake myself up a little bit, and then get in and get it done. heavy today. Right, that is the heavy stuff done for today. Wasn't super happy with how 142 moved just then, but it is what it is. Like I said, I have been feeling a little bit tired this week. But that being said, I am really happy with how deadlift moved today. I had 272.5 for a double, and it moved as well as can be expected, really. I'm feeling confident that in 2 weeks' time, I will be having a go at 187.5. And the good thing about that is, in that week, I reset my squats, so it gives my body a little bit of a chance to recover before that heavy deadlift session, and that's just kind of how I've programmed myself. So yeah, just trusting the process. But yeah, heavy stuff done for today. Just got some back downs to do, some accessory stuff, and then get home. Whoa, I'm so glad that week of training is done. It's been very tough, as I've mentioned, mainly just due to fatigue, but the most important thing is we got it done and we got through it unscathed, relatively. So no injuries and no failed reps, so that's the most important thing. And to be honest with you, the deadlift session in particular moved really well, despite feeling really heavy and cumbersome. The RPE was kind of what I wanted. There's definitely still room for more weight to be added, so that's the most important thing. I just didn't feel great in myself going into the sessions, and I can't quite put my finger on exactly why, because the variables have been good this week, like in terms of just recovery and sleep and food. I think it is just down to the weights going up, and my body's just giving me warning signs that it's starting to enter into uncharted territory. Which is what your body's meant to do. Obviously, when you're reaching stimuluses that your body hasn't done before, naturally it's going to give you those warning signs that you're feeling pretty tired, and that is in just fatigue and soreness, and just general energy levels being a little bit lower. But I do feel like I have more to give, and I can sort of push through that a little bit. But that is where I do need to be very mindful as someone that's now programming for themselves. It's good to listen to my body, but also not push too hard, because I don't want to completely break myself. So I need to listen to my body, and that's the advantage that I have of programming. I can listen to my body. But yeah, I don't want to do it to the point where it's just going to start causing regression, because that's absolutely pointless. But yeah, just talking about some of the variables, I have been eating really well, so much so that my belt is no longer fitting me. So that's something that has been a bit annoying. So much so that I am actually thinking about buying a new belt, a new SBD belt, a double XL. So I'm really starting to become a pretty big boy, because I'm 115 kilos at the moment, but obviously I'm competing in the 120 kilo class. So I have got 5 kilos to play with. So I might try and push on towards that. But I want to be comfortable in my belt, because if I'm not bracing properly, that's just going to put me at a massive disadvantage. So yeah, potentially going to be forking out a little bit of an expense to get that, as well as getting some new lifting shoes, because I don't know if you've seen my Sabos. I'll show you them now. They are pretty much ready for the bin. They are awful, just because I've had them for so long. They're absolutely battered. The Velcro just keeps coming off, so it's kind of quite risky squatting in them, having to walk out and potentially tripping over stuff. So I'm going to be getting some new Avancus, because I've seen them around a lot. They look really nice, so potentially going to get those as well. And the other thing I'm potentially looking at getting is some new knee sleeves. But my SBDs are absolutely fine, and I love my SBDs, but I've heard a lot of good things about the, I can't remember the name of them now, Inzas, that's it. So the Inza knee sleeves, they're meant to be really good. So I want to give those a go as well. So lots of expenses coming out, and obviously I'm not made of money, so it's not ideal, but maybe just one thing at a time. The knee sleeves is definitely something I don't need at the moment, because the SBDs are fine, so that might be a future investment. But definitely the Sabos, they're ready for the bin, so I need to get some new lifting shoes. And to be honest with you, I do need a new belt if I want to be actually bracing properly and feeling good when I'm doing the big compound movements like the squat and the deadlift. So yeah, episode 1 of the Road to Super Training is concluded. It's just basically been me talking about how tired I am, but that is the nature of the beast at the moment, and I want to try and talk through all things training when it comes to this prep, including how my programming that I'm putting together is making me feel. So I'll keep an eye on that over the next few weeks and keep you guys updated if you are interested. I have actually got my flight now for the meet, so I'm going to definitely be on the Saturday, and having a look through the flight list, there is a lot of strong boys there, so it's going to be really interesting to compete alongside them, because a lot of the people on there are people that I've followed for a while on Instagram or social media, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I really can't wait to compete now. I'm really starting to get excited, but obviously just need to stay focused. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please follow along if you want to see how I get on leading up to the competition, but I'm going to sign out the video there, so please leave the video a like if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, peace.